Run, Madea, run! What you have done is too unthinkable, too awful. Seize what means you can. Sailing boat or chariot. Escape.
Run? Escape? Is it then so vital?
Dead. They are this minute dead. The Princess Royal with her father, and through your poisons.
What a pretty word you bring, my benefactor, my friend forever.
What are you saying, madame? Are you in your right mind, not unhinged? A king's home, a charnel house, and you rejoice? Are you not afraid?
I have my ready answer too. So don't be hasty, friend, but tell me how they perished. An appalling death would give me double joy.
We were so pleased to see your boys come to the bride's house with their father, for your ordeal had set us servants greatly. The rumor went racing through the house that all was well again between your husband and yourself. Some of us kissed the children's hands, their golden tops, and I, with my enthusiasm, even followed them to the women's wing. There the mistress, I mean the one who have to honor now, had eyes so taken up with Jason she did not even see at first the two boys hand in hand. But when she did, a veil of scorn dropped over her eyes. She turned her lovely face away, bristling at your son's intrusion. Your husband then began to woo, saying, "You must not hate your friends. Stop being hurt and turn your head around. Consider yours your husband's loved ones. Come, won't you take their presents and beseech your father to let these boys off banishment, just for me?" When she saw how exquisite the presents were, there was nothing she withheld, but gave in completely to her groom. Your husband and your children left the house when she took the gorgeous robe and put it on, and placed the golden cricklet on her curls, arranging the ringlets in the brightness of her mirror, and smiling at her own dead image there. Then, rising from her stool, she minced off through the halls, wildly pleased with what she had received, over and over again, running her eyes down the clear sweep to her heels. But all at once a hideous spectacle took place. Her color changed. She tottered back, shuddered in every limb, was able just in time to fall into a chair, and not upon the floor. An old woman there, attending her, broke into a chant of wonder, then saw the white froth spuming from her lips, her eyeballs bulging all askew, her skin quite leached to blood, and changed from chanting to a yelp. A wail of horror. A maid went dashing to the palace for her father. Another went to the fresh-wed groom to tell him what was happening to his bride. The whole house rang with footsteps running. The poor girl lay unconscious with her eyelids shut. Then suddenly she rallied, and gave a curdling screech, fighting off a double nightmare. The golden diadem that clasped her head burst into a voracious and uncanny flow of fire, while the robe of gossamer began to eat her tender flesh away. Streaming with flame, she leapt up from the chair and led, tossing her mane of hair from side to side in a frantic bid to shake the diadem off. But its grip was adamant, and the golden cricklet held. The more she tossed, the more the fire flowed, till, overwhelmed with pain, she sank down to the floor, unrecognizable all except to her father. And the crown of her head was molten clots, ire and blood dripped down together. The flesh curled off her bones like the teardrops congealing out of pines, inexplicably dissolved by those ravening venoms. It was curious and horrible to see. No one dared to touch her body. The warning was too obvious. But her father, unaware, rushed headlong through the room, flung himself on the body, hugged and kissed it, sobbing out, "My stricken darling, what evil power has done this to you? Who has made you dead and left me, like some ancient tombstone? O gods, let me die with you, my daughter." But when he stopped from these outpourings, these melancholy sobs, and tried to lift his aged carcass up, he found himself stuck fast, clamped to the flimsy robe. A ghastly wrestling match ensued. He would try to raise a knee, she would drag him back down. And when he took force, his own decrepit flesh pulled from the bone. At last, exhausted, pathetically unable to lift himself above the shambles, he gave up his spirit. There they lie, corpse by corpse, father and young daughter, fit objects for our tears. To you, Madea, from me, there are no words to say. Retribution? You yourself will know the best escape, though in my esteem, and not just for today, the whole life is shadowed. And I would even say the people who know best or seem to know are the very ones who pay for the dearest price. A happy human being? There's no such thing. More prosperity, more success in one maybe, but happier it does not make one happy. Justice this day has been brought on Justin's head. Oh, we have seen it, the richest retribution. But it is you we weep for, poor blighted child of Creon, walking through the gates of death because you married Jason.
Now, friends, to complete this mission with dispatch, to slay my children and hurry from this land, I must not dawdle and betray my sons to much more savage hands than mine to kill. There's no way out. They have to die. And since they must, let me be the one to cut them down, the very one who gave them life. Yes, a heart be steel. The act is necessary, as it is cruel and hard. Come, reluctant hand, grip the sword, grip it. Cross your borderline of lifelong pain. Away this flinching, away this longing. Consign to oblivion the love you had for them, the children of your flesh. Even when you kill them, they are dear. Oh, my sons, I am in despair, despair.
Ah! A shout. Listen, a shout from the boys.
Oh, what can we do? Our mother is on us.
Brother, brother, we're going to be killed. That murderous, relentless woman. Shall we break in, snatch them from death?
Yes, by heaven, save us, help!
We're trapped, cornered, now by her sword.
You, woman, standing here outside the house, is that she, Ravager, Madea, still at home, or has she fled? Deep down in the earth let that woman hide, or wing in the highest cloves of the sky, before she ever saves herself from justice by this royal house. Does she think that she can kill a princess and a country's king and vanish with impunity? But it is my sons, not her, I fear for. She shall be repaid through her victims. I have come to save my children's lives for some enormous retribution by the family of the dead, for those enormities their mother did.
Jason, you poor optimistic man, you still don't know the evils that have come, or you would not say what you have said.
What? Does she mean to kill me too?
Your sons are dead, murdered by their mother.
What did you say? Oh, woman, my own wife, you kill me too.
Yes, your children. You cannot think of them as being alive.
Where did she kill them? Here? Outside? Or was it in the house?
Force these doors, and you will see your children in their blood.
Servants, on the double, break these bolts, force the hinges. Let me see the double homicide, the murdered dead, and the murderess to die.
Why this battering, this beating at the doors? Are you looking for their bodies? And for me who did this thing? Save yourself the trouble. There's anything you want, then ask. But me you shall not lay a hand upon. This chariot, the sun, my father's fathers, gave me this to keep me safe against my enemies.
You miserable woman, beyond abhorrence, by me, the gods, the rest of men. You could put your own sons to the swords, the sons you bore, and kill me too with childlessness. But be damned. At last, I understand what I never understood before, when I took you from your foreign home to live in Greece. The sheer wickedness of you, the treachery to your father and the land that reared you. You are possessed, and the gods have unleashed the fiend in you on me, on your own brother too, cut down in his home before you came aboard the sweet ship Argo's hull. Your work already had begun. You married me, bore my sons, and murdered them through jealousy of love. No woman in the whole of Hellas would have dared so much. Yet you were the one I married, not a girl from Greece. Oh, I married a tigress, not a woman, not a wife, and yet yoked myself to a hater and destroyer. But why go on? A million accusations would not make you wince. You are shameless through and through. You blood-stained ogress. Hell take you. Leave me to mourn my destiny of pain, my fresh young wedding without joy. My sons begot and reared and lost, never to be seen alive again.
How tediously I could rebuke you point by point. Zeus the Father knows exactly what you got from me and how you then behaved. I would not let you or your royal princess set our wedded life aside, make me cheap, so that you could live in bliss, or let Creon dismiss me from the land without a fight. So call me a tigress if you like. I have done what I ought, broken your own heart to the core.
You are in agony too. You share my broken life.
It is worth the suffering, since you cannot scoff.
Poor children, what a monster fate gave you for a mother.
Poor sons, what a disaster your selfish father was.
It was not his right hand that killed and struck them down.
No, it was his pride, the lust of his new love.
You think it right to murder just for a thwarted bed?
And you think that a thwarted bed is trifling to a woman?
A modest woman, yes. To you, the world's worst crime.
See, they are no more. I can hurt you too.
They'll live, I think, in your tormented brain.
The gods know who began this whole calamity.
Yes, the gods know well your pernicious heart.
Hate then, I spurn the wormwood from your lips.
As I do yours, so let us be rid of one another.
Yes, but on what terms? That's also what I want.
Let me have the boys, to mourn and bury them.
Never. My own hands shall bury them. They shall be carried to the sanctuary of Hera on the Cape, where no enemy shall ever do them harm or violate their bodies. Here in Corinth, the land, I shall inaugurate a solemn festival with rites and to exercise their murder. I myself shall go to Athens to live with Aegeus. You to a paltry death that fits you well, your skull smashed by a fragment of the Argo's hull. Ironic ending to the saga of your love for me.
Murder is punished, and you'll be destroyed by the avenging phantoms of your children.
What power divine one is ready to hear you? Perjurer, liar, treacherous guest?
Vile, vile, murderous of little ones.
Go. Go and bury your bride.
Broken I go, bereft of 2 sons.
You bemoan too soon. Wait till you're old.
Dearest children.
Dear to their mother.
And so she slew them.
To get at your heart.
You did, you did. How I long to press my children's lips to mine.
Now you are longing. Now you call. You utterly turned from them before.
For the love of the gods, allow me this, to stroke my child's tender skin.
No, you shall not. You waste your words.
Zeus, do you hear how I'm at bay, dismissed by this ogress, odious woman, tigress besmirched but with the blood of her young? So I have mourned and called on the gods while I may, on the powers to witness how you have slain my children, and now prevent my hands from touching them, dead, interring their clay. I'd rather they have never been born to me than have lived to see you destroy them this day.